2NUR FM News for our sponsor General Trades, professional roofing, maintenance and restoration.
It's 6:30. Good morning, I'm Belinda De Lasheras with Hunter News. A man is due to front court later today after being charged with armed robbery of a Bonnells Bay news agency. It's claimed the 26-year-old entered the business on Fishery Point Road wielding a piece of metal just after 1 p.m. yesterday and threatened the female attendant. Joanne Elliott from police headquarters says he then fled in a car parked nearby.
We've had local police investigate, and a short time later a vehicle was stopped on Freeman's Drive at Freeman's Walderhole. They've arrested a 26-year-old man and 2 women in the vehicle. The car was seized for forensic examination, and that man has now been charged with armed robbery as well as an outstanding warrant. He's been refused bail and he'll be in Newcastle local court today.
Meanwhile, a man's been charged with attempting to procure a child for money at Charlestown Square. The 55-year-old allegedly approached a woman and her daughter, offering a sum of cash to exploit the girl for sexual purposes. He'll appear in court next month. It seems tensions have flared among the state Liberals on the back of Councillor Ken Jordan's pre-selection as the party's candidate for the seat of Port Stephens at the March election. It follows reports of dirty tactics, branch stacking and backroom deals in the lead-up to the vote, with claims fellow contender former Newcastle federal candidate Jamie Abbott never stood a chance under the supposed arrangement. While 22-year-old hunter, engineer and environmental campaigner Dan Clausen has officially been endorsed as Labor's candidate ahead of the upcoming Ward 3 by-election in Newcastle. Access in and around the Maitland Railway Station roundabout is set to improve, with work on a new eastbound overpass kicking off from next week. The new road link will carry 2 lanes of traffic above the Church Street roundabout for those headed east on the New England Highway, bypassing the northern floodplains. Roads and Maritime Services Regional Manager Anna Zeki says it's about catering for increased traffic in the area.
The overpass will provide a through route for traffic heading east over the top of the Maitland Railway Street roundabout, and that will allow for an easier flow through of traffic there so they're not held up at the roundabout when they're heading east each day. It'll be really good for traffic because it'll improve the traffic flow on the New England Highway through that area.
The Awabakal Aboriginal Land Council has made yet another land claim, this time for the entrance to Newcastle Harbour. If successful, the group is set to share in millions of dollars worth of royalties from coal exports. However, the council insists the funds would be spent on educational, employment and social welfare opportunities for Indigenous communities. And after falling into a state of disrepair, Valentine Hall is getting a revamp. Along with an $18,000 grant from the New South Wales Government, the Valentine Community Service Organisation has also managed to raise a substantial amount of funding for the upgrade. Swansea MP Gary Edwards says the group should be congratulated.
The total project cost us around about $52,000. Through the state government, we got them $18,000 through Community Building Partnership Grant, so the rest they are putting in themselves. They're going to have new toilets there, they'll have an access ramp, they'll be doing some landscaping, they're total rewiring, electrical rewiring. They'll be recladding the building and putting in new doors and windows.
Now with sport, Cecilia Connell.
Jets coach Phil Stubbins has shot down speculation David Carney and Mark Birighitti intend to part ways with the struggling club. It's understood Sydney FC are keen to sign Carney, while the Sky Blues and Melbourne City are interested in Birighitti. Either way, the team's in the market for new players following the departure of Sam Galloway and Marcos Flores earlier in the week. Meanwhile, Hunter Stadium is set to host its second Asian Cup match tomorrow night, with Oman taking on Kuwait. Both teams will be pulling out all the stops to make it past the group stage. Round 3 of the Lake Macquarie Amateur tees off at Belmont this morning. Picton teenager Justin Warren currently shares the lead with Canadian contestant Corey Connors. And Newcastle youngster Isaac Hayes has been selected to represent Australia at this year's Cadet Fencing World Championships in Uzbekistan. That's sport. I'm Cecilia Connell.
2NUR FM News time is 26 to 7.